Anyone who knows how to write a good song has the potential to make a mark in the music industry from wherever in the world. Take Sinach, for example, with the song Waymaker. Now, she tapped into the music licensing scene and has made history. Today on Music Business Monday, I'm going to be sharing some things songwriters need to know about music licensing. And that's what's coming up. Hey, I'm Akurios and you're welcome to Music Business Monday. And if this is the first time you're seeing me, I'm only here to help musicians find the courage to pursue a career in music and earn a living in the process. Music licensing is something that very few people talk about, and the main reason is that almost every songwriter wants to write, perform, and release their own songs. If you're a songwriter, that's one of the first things you need to know. Not every song you write should be released by you. Today on Music Business Monday, I'm going to be talking about that and much more, things that will help songwriters access the world of music licensing and find their way around. Number one, let's start with the actual ownership of the intellectual property. Now, as a songwriter, the property that you can lay claim to is not the recording if your song has been licensed. The property you lay claim to is the actual composition, the songs that you've written, the melody, the lyrics that you have created from nothing. That's what you lay claim to. That's what belongs to you, as long as another person has gone to the studio with that song and recorded it. The recordings belong to that particular artist and not you. That's the first thing you need to know about music licensing. Number two, there's nothing belittling about licensing the songs that you write. It doesn't mean that you're not qualified or worthy to perform those songs and release them. It may just mean that they can only reach their full potential in the hands of another artist. So one thing to consider is that not all the songs that you write as a songwriter should be performed by you. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that belittles you as a songwriter for not performing the songs that you have written or not releasing the songs that you have written. Now, because the songwriter, him or herself, is a qualified and professional member of the music industry. And even if the songwriter also happens to be a musician and a singer, it doesn't take anything away from your credibility as a musician if somebody else records and releases your songs. We all know that Sinach herself is a fantastic musician and an amazing vocalist, but several other artists have performed her song Waymaker and done extremely well with the song. The song is big, topping the Billboard songwriter charts for over 10 weeks. Now that's something every songwriter dreams of. Number three, I mentioned that not all songs that you write as a songwriter should be released by you, even if you're an amazing vocalist yourself. Now, sometimes, in addition to that, you can actually deliberately write songs for certain artists who you feel would perform a certain style of writing better. So if you study the career of another artist and actually consider some of the songs, the releases that they have done and put out there in the past, you can actually write a song specially tailored for these artists. This is something that songwriters who are on the payroll of record labels do all the time. Number four, when you're going into a music licensing agreement, make sure there is a legal document that binds every single thing together. And make sure you agree to all the terms. Remember, if your song has been picked by an artist, if your song is really loved by an artist and the artist is itching to release that particular song, you kind of have the upper hand. So you can actually bargain better. So no matter who the artist is, don't be timid. Don't be intimidated by the success or past success of the artist, whoever the artist is. Make sure you understand that what you're bringing to the table is precisely 50% of the entire arrangement. Number five, remember you have a lot more to gain out of a music licensing agreement than money. Okay, so don't let the fee distract you from what you can actually get out of that particular arrangement and all the relationships that you can build from that point on. Now, your credibility as a songwriter in the music industry and in your environment is much more important than any fee that you can be paid from that deal. Number six, there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with getting paid for having your song used by another artist. Okay, so before you give out your songs, the songs you've written, to other artists to release, to perform and release for free, make sure that you're not going to turn around and get bitter if the song succeeds insanely. If a couple of weeks, months, or even years down the line, the song becomes insanely successful, becomes a mega hit, and is very, very big worldwide, make sure you're still happy with your decision to give it out for free. So there's nothing wrong with the decision to give it out for free, but you have to be consistent with that decision no matter the outcome of it. Your reason for giving out the song for free may have been the relationships you had formed or the possible new relationships that were going to come out of that particular arrangement. So when the song gets big, don't get bitter. Think about the reasons you decided to give the song out for free. Number 7, as a singer-songwriter, as a musician-songwriter, you have to realize that music licensing is going to get the compositions that you have created to audiences that you may not have had access to originally. This is because the artist that you have licensed your song to has an audience that is totally different from yours. Now take the example of Sinach, for example, and a Michael W. Smith. Now Michael W. Smith has access to an audience, to a loyal fan base that Sinach may not have been able to reach if the song Waymaker was not performed and released by Michael W. Smith. The possibilities are endless. The artists that you're licensing your music to can break into scenes and platforms that you would never have thought of breaking into. This has happened many, many times in the past in the music industry and will continue to happen for as long as music remains. So before you decide to hold tightly to your compositions, remember, there's a whole world of fans and audiences out there that you cannot reach by yourself. There's so much more that can be said about music licensing and how it impacts the songwriter's life and how it impacts the composer's life, and we'll be talking about that more. And in a future video, I'm going to be giving some tips on how to actually go into a music licensing deal, how to dot the I's and cross the T's, and how to make sure that everything goes smoothly. If this video has been helpful to you and you've learned a couple of things about music licensing, go ahead and tap the like button. It's right there at the corner. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now and tap the notification bell so that you're notified when there's new content on this channel. So till next time, I'm Akurios and I'm out.